What's up everyone, Darcblade here with another S-Rank guide for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, where we take a look at the various missions in the game and achieve an S-Rank on these missions. This will also be done on the hard difficulties. Now in this mission we're going to be looking at the side op, Intel Operative Rescue. This is one of the slightly longer side ops. Now firstly, to start off, skip all cutscenes whenever possible. Watching cutscenes counts towards your overall timer and thus can potentially lead to a decreased rank at the end of a mission, so skip them whenever available. Now this mission is slightly different from other side ops in the game. Intel Operative Rescue is a kind of on-the-rail shooter mission, at least for the first 3/4 of the mission. Now as with all on-rail shooter games, you'll have little control over your actual movement, so Snake will have little control and say over where the helicopter, which is what he's sitting on the side of, goes. The helicopter is basically trying to follow the operative from Mother Base on the ground. The very first part of the mission has you trying to locate that operative. However, actually finding the operative will be done solely by your helicopter's pilot. Now, a quick side note here is that one of the trials is to shoot all the Moai statues on the map. What you saw me doing just now was shooting one of them, so you know what it looks like. But this is a guide on how to get the S rank, so I'm not going to focus on them. Now, first thing you want to do when the mission starts is to equip the Darcblade15 pistol. This is a non-lethal Magnum type shotgun pistol that will greatly increase your chances of getting that S rank. Try to use this gun throughout the mission. Also, by using this weapon on this mission, you'll probably end up getting the Pacifist achievement / trophy, which is to complete the mission without killing a single person. Now, one thing I should mention before I go on is that whilst playing this on hard mode, you're not invincible. On normal mode, you feel like you're pretty much invincible when you're doing the on the rail section. But on hard difficulty, it's a different story. One thing to be wary about is when you play it through, take note of where all the rocket troops are, as these should be your main priority to take down. Rocket troops can pretty much destroy the helicopter in 1 or 2 rockets, so take them down ASAP. Moving back to talk about the Darcblade15 pistol a little bit. Try to use this gun in third-person mode, rather than first-person mode. The gun has an incredible kickback when using it in first-person mode, so using it in third-person really does help take out opponents quickly and easily. Obviously there's still a little bit of skill needed when it comes to using the pistol. For those of you who are having trouble with the aim in Metal Gear Solid 5, you could try to increase or decrease the aim sensitivity to try to help you. However, everyone is different and you should use what is best for you. Now we've just passed the part of the mission where you meet up with your operative. He's in the jeep below you. You have to defend him now. He will be shot at as well as you. Once he gets the jeep working again and you've successfully defended him, it's time to move on again. Things get a little bit tougher from here as the amount of guards increase and they become slightly more aggressive. One tip when facing guards who are on the move: shoot where they are going to be and not where they are. Weapons in Metal Gear Solid 5 appear to have a little bit of dropout, which means that bullets are affected by the Coriolis effect. For those of you who don't know what that is, it basically means that bullets over a long distance will start to drop out, similar to how arrows work, but obviously at a greater distance. The best advice I can give you for this section of this mission is to maybe play it a few times and get to learn the enemy layout, where the enemies are going to spawn, and especially where the rocket troopers are going to be. Now you don't have to take down every single enemy during the actual on the rail section. However, like I said before, you really do want to take down the rocket troops before they take you down. I should mention though that any troops that you do miss will eventually show up in the latter part of the mission, which can be troublesome depending on how many troops you've actually missed. But I'll cover that when we actually get to that part of the mission. Now another problem you may experience during the on the rail sections is the actual low amount of ammo that this weapon has. The Darcblade15 pistol only comes with 5 bullets when it's fully loaded. This can prove troublesome, especially if you miss targets. Another good reason why it's a good idea to learn the enemy layouts and where they're going to be. Knowing where the enemies are and where there might be a breather gives you an opportune moment to reload your gun. Another downside about the Darcblade15 pistol is that each bullet has to be loaded manually. There's no simple clip change, it's each bullet has to be loaded into the chamber individually. This means that the reload animation can potentially be quite long. However, there is a plus side where you can interrupt the reload. This means that your gun may be half loaded, but at least you'll have bullets ready to go in an emergency situation. Now there's a tricky bit here where you have to fight an anti-aircraft gun, an AA gun. Try to aim where the gunner is, rather than at the actual gun itself. This will take out the gunner eventually with some good accuracy and a little bit of luck. The gunner's seat, or the controller for the anti-aircraft gun, should be slightly above the center of the gun, so try to aim there. Remember too, at this distance there will be bullet drop off, so maybe aim slightly above the anti-aircraft gun to hit the gunner. Now the next part of the mission sees your operative has met with an unfortunate accident and crashed the vehicle thanks to a rocket trooper. This will be leading up to the end portion of the mission. What you have to do here is basically defend the operative whilst more guards swarm the area. A lot of these guards are at quite a distance, so you have to really aim well in order to take them down, especially when you're using the Aragon 5 pistol. If you're using lethal weaponry, you really don't have to worry about this distance too much. But if you're using non-lethal, which you really need to do in order to get that S rank, it becomes a little bit of an issue and makes the mission slightly more trickier. Again, at this part of the mission, it really did help to know where the enemies were going to be coming from. I should mention that at certain key points during the on the rails section, your pilot will announce where key targets are. For example, you just saw a moment ago that the pilot called out that there was someone in the tower. If you're playing this mission for the first time, keep an eye out for your pilot's callouts. Now we're approaching the next part of the mission, which sees Snake on foot. The goal for this part of the mission is to go and grab your operative and bring him back to the helicopter. Now coming up in a minute, you'll see that I moved one of the targets that I shot out of the road. This is because there is an armoured vehicle coming up, and the armoured vehicle can run over enemies, and thus these count as kills. So you really want to make sure there's no enemies lying in its path. For me, luckily, this was the only enemy I had to worry about moving. Next thing you want to do in order to take out the armoured vehicle is run over to where the operative is. Leave him on the floor and instead go past him. Against the wall or on the floor next to the car should be a rocket launcher. You need this in order to take out the armoured vehicle quickly and easily. Now the best place to fight the armoured vehicle is over here by these crates. This allows for enough cover for you to simply pop out and fire off a rocket at the armoured vehicle whilst at the same time avoiding its fire. Now when it comes to attacking, the armoured vehicle fires off around 6 rounds before pausing. Use this pause to poke your head out and fire off another rocket. After about 3 rockets, the armoured vehicle should be destroyed. Another side note to watch out for is the blast radius of your missile launcher. If there happens to be an unconscious enemy near the armoured vehicle, there's a chance your rocket launcher could kill them with splash damage. Anyway, once the armoured vehicle is destroyed, it's time to go over and pick up the operative. Also be wary at this point, any enemy that you have missed during the on the rails shooting sequence will start appearing now. Luckily I missed only a few, and thus I was only met with little resistance. Once it's safe, put the operative on the chopper and it's back to an on the rails section to finish the mission. A few more guards will appear to try to stop you, but to be honest, at this point in the mission, you're pretty much safe from the troops on the ground. Now, as you take down the remaining troops, as you make your escape, you'll realise that there's one more part to this mission, and that's a fight with another helicopter. Now, the easy way to take down this helicopter is to simply use the rocket launcher against it. Remember to fire where it's going to be and not where it is. But, for this video, I want to demonstrate how to take it down using the Aragon 5 pistol, the non-lethal method. Hopefully this will show you how to get the Pacifist trophy/achievement and still achieve an S rank. Basically, you don't actually have to take down the helicopter at all. All you have to do is take down the gunners in the helicopter, not the actual pilot. The helicopter will have a gunner firing rockets out of its side hatch. This is the target you need to take down. Now sometimes you might hit an enemy that falls out the chopper during the early part of the fight, but this doesn't mean that the helicopter fight is over, as there sometimes seems to be 2 enemy rocket troopers in the chopper. However, there comes to a point where the enemy chopper will pull up alongside you. This is a very important part. You need to take down the rocket trooper in the side hatch before he shoots you with the rocket. If he hits you with the rocket, it's game over and you have to start again from the checkpoint. But aim carefully, aim where the target is going to be, not where he is, and take him down means that the enemy chopper should pull away from you. And hopefully we would have achieved the S rank and the Pacifist trophy/achievement. All that's left to do is simply watch as Snake flies away. Even though the enemy are still shooting at you, they won't actually do any damage to you or your helicopter. Now I already got the Pacifist trophy in a previous playthrough, but it should appear in the summary screen at the end of the mission. Now before the mission ends, there's one more cutscene, so remember to skip it to save on time, and if you've done what I did in this video here, you should have achieved an S rank. Now as you can see, I did the mission in around 9.5 minutes. This could be quicker. I got 0 kills, 0 retries, and all this meant that I achieved an S rank. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you my S rank guide to the hard difficulties on Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero's side mission, Intel Operative Rescue. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.